I have respect for everyone in this class. All these guys are hardworking guys. I don't feel like there's anything athletic that separates me from them. There's dudes out here that are fast. There's dudes out here that are strong. I think the only thing that I have over all these guys that I had to earn was my hardworking ability. Being at Albany is something that made me get that. Only having one offer out of high school is something that forced me to have that ability. I'm sorry, so what? I was undersized out of high school. There was no doubting that. I was 200 pounds, 6'3". I wasn't, some monstrous force. I couldn't, if you looked at me in high school, looked at me today, you would probably be like, what the. So, I was definitely small, but during, COVID, I took my full advantage, took advantage of the time I had off, and just worked out. That's all I did. It helped me grow exponentially. It was hard because Albany, it was FCS school, but not a lot of people take the football program as serious. This year's past, they took it very serious. They ended up going very far in the playoffs. Got stopped short, but they took it very serious. But while I was there, it was more of a mental focus for me to just become a better player. Yes, sir, Sean. I mean, when I got into the portal, I definitely realized that Syracuse game helped me a lot. But that's just the type of player I am. Every game I go out there, and if you look at any of my film from Albany, it's all looking like that. I just went out there, I tried to give my all. They ultimately, came with the win, but I just tried to go out there and give everything I had. Whereas trying to get the running back if he breaks for like loose tackle or trying to get the sack. I think all my events will be pretty good. I'm not looking at one event too hard or one event too low. Yes, sir, from Dayton, Ohio. I was in Beaver Creek right outside of Dayton. I was there for 13 years before me and my family moved to North Carolina, then ultimately Pennsylvania. I mean, that's my whole childhood. Literally up until my teenage years, I spent all there. I remember going outside playing with my friends at the park down the street. I remember, doing this, doing that. Chase my dog would get loose sometimes outside the house, just run around down the block. He literally was the most harmless dog, would just run around for no reason. But those are the type of memories I have. Yes, sir. I try to go back there as often. Both my older brother, my younger brother, my older sister still all live there. My focus has always been me. It's never been, what people have going on in their organizations or what they have going on in their, locker room. Mine's always been me. The team that needs to get me will get me. I hope I go to a great team. Whatever team I do go to will be a great team, and I'll give them everything I have. So I just hope to get my best. I mean, you land with a veteran guy. At the end of the day, I think he knows I'm a young guy. I'm still going to need help. I'm going to need, to get the understanding, get the bearings right. He'll be able to, direct me in the right path, fix a couple things that I might, need help with that I didn't see in college that, they won't work in the NFL. These guys are all pros. These guys are vets and stuff. So I hope he, gives me the guidance I need. I'm sorry, so what? I mean, it means the world. At the end of the day, I was never supposed to be in this position. I wasn't even supposed to be, at, Florida State. I was never supposed to be, standing here in front of you today. That was never. If you asked anybody in high school, I'm not supposed to be here today. So being the first pass rusher would mean the world to me. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. I'm still going to be working no matter what position I'm taking in. Whether I go, first round, second round, bring it all the way down to the seventh. I'm still going to give everything I have. It mean the world. I mean, like I said, like it just mean a lot. To be out there, be that special piece that can hopefully bring the team all the way together. Bring them to a far. Running the playoffs. Obviously everyone wants to win a Super Bowl, but right now my focus is just be the best me. Go out there, give everything I have, and hopefully be that piece. I mean, I would have been a 99, but realistically, I probably would have been like a 95. Something good, something good. So what? Yes, sir. I think, I mean, if you have to narrow it down, I'd probably say the Florida or the Louisville game. The last two, we did lose one of our best players, our quarterback. Losing him was definitely a big issue. So we, as a defense, had to step up. We had to become better. We had to, give more of what we had. So that was kind of everything I had left on that field. it means a lot. Like I've done that before. It's nothing like too crazy to do to me, but they actually get there, put them down, like not lay over top, but like put them down, like have everybody kind of hyped up. I didn't even have like celebration. I'm just running around crazy, so I had to get back to the huddle. But it meant a lot just to know that all that hard work in the offseason paid off.
There's a lot of hype with the offensive players in the top 10. Do you think defense is getting overlooked? Do you think they're getting overlooked?
I think the players, the best players should be picked first. There's a lot of good offensive talent. When you go to quarterback, you got tight ends out here, you got wide receivers. There's a lot of good talent here. I think whatever a team needs, they're going to go for it. I don't think there's anything that's like wrong with it.
So if the best players should be picked first, should you be picked first?
I think I'm a great player. I think that's ultimately for the teams to decide. I think I'm a great player. I think I've exemplified everything. I've showed everything I've had on the field. But like I said, I think the best players should be picked first. I definitely think I should, be considered. But at the end of the day, it's whatever the team needs.
Jared, what's interesting or unique to you about the Bears?
It was interesting just to kind of see, their perception. A lot of teams ask different questions. No teams ask, really the same question twice besides the basics. So, to kind of see their questions, the way they view me, the way they spoke to me, the way they view my film was interesting.
What do you hope they got out of it?
I hope they got the real me. I don't ever want to hide. I don't ever want to give off a false persona of who I am as a person or how I present myself. So I hope they got the real me. That's a dog. Pat is just a physical specimen. I mean, he has those long arms, blocked like, I think, what was it, like 7, 8, 9, whatever. How many passes he blocked this year was incredible. So, having someone opposite of you that you can always rely on, always play with, always have no worry about. I didn't ever have to look at Pat and be like, hey, bro, do you know your call? Like, Pat would just know everything he had to do. He would do it to the best of his ability and, sometimes beyond that and just make amazing, incredible plays. So I love playing with Pat. I'm sorry, you said what? Oh yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of teams, across the board. I've never been too focused on the draft order or anything like that because the trades that can happen, this can happen, that can happen. So I've never been too focused on any of that. But there has been teams, across the board that have been interested. I'm happy, that I'm in this position to be able to be interested by all these teams. But there's been a couple. Oh yes, sir. Actually, I don't think I talked to them. I actually might be lying to you. I'm a, I think it's given me the advantage of versatility. I've been using the 3 tech, I've been using the 4 I've been using the 5-9, whatever you need on the tight end, off the tight end. They put me in coverage. I have, a lot of experience with every position, whatever you need me to do. So I think that shows something on film that, okay, yeah, if we need, somebody on in the third down, we need a 3 tech, we're going to put somebody else outside, or we don't want to rush a linebacker or something like that. I can do that too.
Jared, what did Florida State mean in your development in your time there?
Oh, they changed me as a player. You watch my Albany film versus you watch my Florida State film, it's a different person. Not because of anything, physically, but because of the technique and stuff such as that.
You were one of the guys, I guess, that had to make a professional decision to opt out. Was that hard to watch that football game, knowing what might have been different if you were out there?
It definitely was hard. I definitely, looking back on it, wish I was put myself in a different position. Maybe went out there, had a couple of the other guys come out there with me. I feel like it would have been a different football game, but at the end of the day, that's all ifs. I chose not to play in that game. I had to stand by my decision. Those guys went out there, they played with what they had, and they did everything they could. It was definitely upsetting to watch, them have to go through that, but I know they did what they were able to do.
Jared, have you met with Vegas?
I had no doubt in it. My older brother is one of the biggest support systems I have. All of my siblings, my sisters, my brothers, everyone is just the biggest support system. They never had any doubt in me. They knew how much work I put in. They knew how I would sacrifice, going to parties or going to this, going to social outings just to work out, just to watch some more film, just to, hit the field, and it's just, them seeing all of that kind of put more belief in me. I never had any doubt in myself. They never had any doubt in me. When you have a support system such as that, it's nothing to worry about.
Jared, have you met with Vegas or do you plan to?
I know, sir. I haven't looked at my schedule recently, so.
With 12 teammates here at the combine, a lot of talent, but you room with one. Talk about Trey Benson a little bit, like what
No, you living with Trey is incredible. I mean, that's my guy. We're best. Like that's one of my best friends. He's a great guy. Especially during the summer, my first year at Florida State. During the summer, neither me, him, or Amari Gann is from Tallahassee. We all just stayed in Tallahassee and worked out the whole summer. So the whole summer, you got Trey, who's an incredibly fast running back. Got Amari, who's some freak athlete as a linebacker. We're all just racing. On the turf and right outside the door camp on the practice field. They push me constantly. Without a doubt, it's just made me so much better of a player, so much faster, so much stronger, and want me to strive to be greater, that much better.
Jared, how did the journey from Albany to here build you and make you a player that you need to be in order to play at the next level?
It gave me that hunger. That's something you can't teach. You can't teach the grind. You can't teach the strain. You can't teach the hunger to become a better player. Every day my strive is to become a better player. I don't want to ever remain stagnant. If I ever hit a point where I just can't become better, then I feel like that's just when the love of football will, dissipate. But I don't think that will ever happen. I just want to become a better player, become faster, stronger, become better just from my time at Albany.
Jared, what about NFL become a goal?
I'm sorry.
When did the NFL become a goal for you?
Oh, when I first stepped on the field. I fell in love with the sport. I remember I was like 9 years old. I'm outside. It's a beautiful day out in Beaver Creek, Ohio. We playing right outside the middle school. I'm running around. They had me playing running back as my first position. I'm running around. I'm like, I could do this the rest of my life. It seems pretty fun.
Jared, what do you think about Brady Fisk? What do you think people are missing or underrating maybe?
Oh, they see everything on film. Fisk is insane. I don't think there's any plays you can bring up of him loafing or him holding back. There's no plays of him where you can see like, oh yeah, this guy's not really, he doesn't really belong in the league. That guy is incredible. I think, people should look at him the way he is viewed. Like you saw what he did at the Senior Bowl. You see what he did all season. You saw what he did, at his prior school. That guy's a dog. Is it? A formal.
What do you most want to showcase tomorrow on the field?
My hard work. Like I said, there's guys out there faster than me. There's guys out there stronger than me. There's guys out there that are quicker than me. There's guys out there that are going to run some freak times tomorrow. And I just want to show that, through all this, I've worked hard. Like I said before, I was never supposed to be in this position, but, I earned it, so I'm going to work hard to showcase what I've done.
You're supposed to be in this position.
I never was gifted like that. There's guys out there from when I was a little kid that were way faster than me, way stronger than me, way bigger than me. And I just wasn't supposed to be here. Like, it wasn't supposed to be anything where I was like, oh, yeah, I'm some freak athlete, anything like that. I just worked hard to become in this position.
Was it more than a chip on your shoulder for you?
It's my lifestyle. There's no chip on my shoulder or anything like that. I feel like a lot of people here give me my respect now. I think now it's just this is what I've grown into.
Jared, have you met with
Yeah, at the end of the COVID year, I was around 245. Now I'm around 260. That was one of the biggest things I kept wanting to do. I wanted to keep putting on some weight till I felt comfortable that I was already big enough, I was strong enough to compete in the NFL.
Jared, have you met with the Bengals? Have you met with the Bengals? And also, when you watch your film, what is the biggest thing that you feel like you're going to bring to NFL teams?
Yeah, and I think it's just my relentless effort. I can't. I told a lot of people this, and I told Coach Norvell this. When I decided to come back, I can't promise you anything. Can't promise you I'm gonna go out there and get 20-some sacks. I can't promise you I'm gonna go out and have some freak game. I can promise you I'm gonna give you my all, and I'm gonna cause havoc on the line. I'm gonna cause people to change the whole game plan, change the way they block, change the way they scheme, and everything that they plan for will not be useful against me.
Jared, what do you have to say to the fans back home, the FSU fans?
Man, I love y'all. I mean, they did everything for me. Y'all, I love them too much. Like, they did everything. They helped me through everything I've been through. Whether it was my highs or my lows. I checked Twitter. I had a bad game. The Miami fans, the Florida fans are quick to get on me. They waste no time, but the Florida State fans were always there.
Can you speak about your development with Coach Norvell?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I feel like, besides the physical development that I've made there, the mental development on the football field, I feel like it was my mental aspect, my growth as a man. That, was the biggest growth that I made with Coach Norvell. He was out there anytime I had a problem. I had no problem just walking into his office. He would always make time with me. Whether he was in a meeting, whether he was about to go into a meeting, whether he was with a recruit or not with a recruit, he would always make time for me to be able to be in there and speak my truth.
Jared, a minute ago when you were talking about opting out, did you say you would do that different? Was that what you were saying you were talking about? I know you're standing behind
Yeah, like I said, I have to stand behind my decision. It was definitely hard being on that sideline. I had a vision of like, what if I was on the field, how would it look differently? But at the end of the day, I do have to stand by my decision and just kind of be like, all right, this is what happened. I can't change the past. All I can do is be where my feet are at and stand by the present.
So, I guess in the future, you can't redo it, but I guess this is something we'll see in the future. What would you tell the next guy? It is an individual decision, but what advice would you give to some of the guys?
I feel everyone's decision is different. Like my older brother, I asked him what should I do. He told me, don't do Don't take anyone else's opinion. Just do what's best for you. What do you want to do? I explained it to him. He's like, all right, do that then. So, whatever is best for you. Some people are all in different decisions. Some people are in different passes of their life. Some people were going through injuries. Some people weren't. So whatever's going for them, do what's best for you.
Just to clarify, okay, just to clarify, did you meet the Jaguars?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Formal. Both.
Have you met with Packers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
When did that go down?
I want to say yesterday, or maybe 2 days ago.
Anything that stood out about it?
No, like I said, every interview is they all have their different questions. Something that might be a little bit more specific, more confusing than the other ones.
Did you have any knowledge of the Jaguars? Obviously, being 2 hours, going to college 2 hours west, and how did that meeting go?
I feel like it went pretty well. I feel like every meeting I've done went pretty well. I'm like a very confident guy. I don't get nervous pretty often, so none of these meetings are too taxing on my mind or my mental.
Do you know anything about Ryan Nielsen, that aggressive style of defense that they want to employ now?
I've watched a couple of Jaguars games. I've watched every defense, trying to get a good understanding for most of them. No, I didn't grow up watching too much NFL football till I around in my end of my high school. And I've never been like a big fan of any team specifically. I've just kind of enjoyed players, enjoyed the game.